Hello and welcome to my video. In this video I will be commenting on my footage from the remote Cliffhanger Tournament on the European Pokemon League on Discord. So starting off with my first opponent. So I start off with Deoxys against Hypno, which favors Hypno because my counters and my Psycho Boost don't do much against the Hypno. So I immediately go for my Thunderbolt to hurt this Hypno, which does like just 30%, but it's still something. So now here I'm figuring out whether it's Shadow Ball or Thunder Punch or any punches. So I feared the Shadow Ball, that's why I shielded, but yeah, I got shield baited there. So now I go for my Psycho Boost to shield bait myself, which ended up being successful. And here I shield the Shadow Ball now, which was good, but now I'm out of shields and this Hypno still has one shield left, and here I'm trying to shield bait him to get rid of the last shield and I was thinking about a safe switch to soak this Shadow Ball, but I wasn't too sure what to switch into and what. Yeah, and I didn't want to get trapped with my other two mons, and I probably did the mistake by switching into my Steelix. I'm not too sure, because my Tropius was maybe would have been able to feint this Hypno before it gets to the Shadow Ball, and probably would have just eaten the Thunder Punch. But now, since shields are down, I immediately go for my Earthquake, and I'm thinking about soaking this Surf, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. So now my Steelix eats the Surf and faints, and I come in with Tropius now. And yeah, unfortunately I still have to eat this Surf as well. But in the end it didn't matter at all, since Skarmory was still in the bag, so there was no way to win for me. I probably should have soaked the Shadow Ball from the Hypno to preserve my Deoxys, since Deoxys could have been crucial to defeat this Skarmory or my Steelix. Anyways, in game 2 I start off with Deoxys again, and now this favors my Deoxys since I have Thunderbolt, which hurt Skarmory a lot. So now I go for my Psycho Boost to shield bait him, but my opponent perfectly switches into Lapras to probably soak the damage, but it got shielded anyways. And I think I made the mistake by switching into Tropius instead of maybe staying in, since I need my Tropius with the bulk and the damage to defeat the Hypno, since yeah, you will see that in the next game, or yeah, in this game now. So I defeat this Lapras. I wanted to undercharge it as well to be lower, since I knew the Skarmory would come in and try to farm my Tropius down. So now his Skarmory comes out again, and yeah, I eat a Sky Attack at first, and probably still had enough energy for a second Sky Attack, which I shield now. I think it was a mistake by coming in with Deoxys maybe, I don't know. But here I do a shield bait, and yeah, it ended up being not shielded at all. So yeah, I switched into my Steelix now, and with shields down, and the Skarmory gets off one last Flash Cannon, which hurt quite a bit for a resisted charge move, but yeah, it was pretty unnecessary to eat that. So now I do my Crunch, which would hurt the Hypno quite a lot for the non-stab damage. And yeah, Steelix does not have the biggest attack stat, but yeah, those crunches still hurt the Hypno. 2 would have been enough probably to kind of finish this Hypno off, but I wasn't able to get to my third crunch. So now it's pretty close. I tried to Thunderbolt him immediately before he gets to another elemental punch, and it's not enough. He gets off the Thunder Punch and my Deoxys faints. So the problem here was probably that I switched into Tropius probably instead of staying in with Deoxys, or probably staying with Deoxys and having my Tropius for the Hypno and my Steelix for the Skarmory would have been better. And as well, I failed at the shield bait against the Skarmory, and the Psycho Boost did nothing, and I wasted a lot of energy there. So that was really well predicted from my opponent there. Now for the second opponent of mine, I start off with Lapras against the Swampert, which favors Lapras. So I was in a pretty good situation. So I guessed he would go for an Earthquake there, but I did not shield anyways. So now, with enough energy for a Skull Bash, I go for a Surf, expecting him to shield anyways. So, and I do my second Surf immediately after that. And this one does not get shielded. So now, yeah, this is clearly not an Earthquake. Or, oh, it is. Okay, good. Good that I shielded the second time then. Yeah, now this is another Hydro Cannon after 5 mud shots. Yeah. Well, my Lapras survives and wins the 1v1 with red HP, and I still get to serve this next Pokemon. And it ended up being the Vigoroth. And I still have 1 shield left and switch advantage now. So now I probably switch into my Golbat, since Golbat can soak all those counters and still tank a few body slams. So now switches into the Bastiodon, which I expected already, and I switch into my Lucario to just farm this Bastiodon up. So now I go for a full powered up Power Punch, and I hope that I did not have to shield this Flamethrower, but this was not the case, unfortunately. So now it goes for Stone Edge. I fainted down with another counter now, and his Vigoroth comes in, and I go for my Power Punch, and this should hurt this Vigoroth a lot, and it ended up fainting him with this Power Punch. So very good, and we come in game 2 with my Golbat facing Togekiss, which was perfect. Those charms do like nothing against my Golbat, while my Poison Fang do at least 30%. Yeah, okay, that's more than 30%. It's nearly half of the Togekiss HP. So now I go for another Poison Fang, expecting him to shield because he's at his ancient power now. And now I shield for the shield advantage, and for the energy I am able to farm from this Togekiss before it faints now. So now I'm quite low, but I'm at switch advantage, and I have enough energy probably, and enough HP to get off Shadow Ball. So now I immediately go for my Shadow Ball, and if he does not shield it, it does like 60% HP. So yeah, that was very good for me that he did not shield this Shadow Ball. So So now there's no reason for me to shield anyways. Probably if I would have shielded, I would have gotten maybe a Poison Fang off, which would not have fainted this Swampert. So now I come in with Lapras, hoping that my Ice Shards would be enough to farm this Swampert for the last Mon. But he gets off an Earthquake, which wasn't good. Switches into a Tropius, and it's a Air Slash variant. And yeah, here I thought it might be a Leaf Blade, and it ended up being just a Leaf Blade. So yeah, I didn't had to shield that. So good that I did not shield the Leaf Blade now. And I'm able to get off a Shadow Ball on this Tropius, and I let my Lucario go so that my Lapras can finish this Tropius off with just one Ice Shard, and I'll finish this Swampert off with my Surf, since I had enough energy, nearly enough for 2 Surfs back to back. So with this, yeah, I lost 2 bubbles there. I win against my second opponent. And for the third opponent, we start off with Lucario against Azumarill. So now I farm up to Shadow Ball, and we play the Shield Bait game again. So now Azumarill is at Ice Beam, probably, so I switch into my Deoxys to eat the Ice Beam or the Play Rough, one of those. So I'm able to soak the Ice Beam now with my Deoxys. My Deoxys was there to soak anything. It was pretty good against the team of her. So yeah, it was kind of safe switch for me. And now I let go of my Deoxys to be able to farm this Umbreon with my Lucario. So now she gets off her charge move first, which I shield, since I needed this Lucario to be healthy, because I already expected her to have the Bastiodon in the back. So now I undercharge my Power Punch to be able to farm the rest of the Umbreon with counters. So I would have more energy for the Azumarill that I expected to come in, which ended up coming in. So now I fake my Shadow Ball, kinda, I don't know, and she ended up shielding, which was crucial, since now I can feint her off with another Power Punch. And yeah, because of that I shield this, since I still need my Lucario for the Probopass probably in the back. So now I go for another Power Punch, and this is enough to feint the Azumarill, and the Bastiodon comes in, and I under-tap my Power Punch here, and I'm at like 1 HP, so this under-tap was really crucial. And this Power Punch is able to feint the complete Bastiodon, so yeah, it was a kind of sweep with my Lucario. So now I already expected her to pack Hitmonchan, so that's why I excluded my Lucario and had like all 3 counters to the Hitmonchan. So I start off with my Deoxys, which was pretty safe against her whole team. It didn't have really bad matchups, and yeah, she switches perfectly into my Psycho Shock here, into the Umbreon soaks my Psycho boost. I switch into the Tropius, which should be able to feint this Umbreon without doing any charge moves. So I eat the foul. Okay, she did the last resort there, but she should have probably gone for foul play. So now I'm still trying to farm her down. I still can tank another foul play or last resort. I don't think she should have last resort there, but okay. Well, Umbreon feints. I expected the Bastiodon already to come in. I immediately go for my Leaf Blade before I feint from the smackdowns from her, and yeah, 2 Leaf Blades back to back since I farmed the Umbreon completely. And my Tropius should faint now, yes. And now I come back in with my Deoxys. Since Deoxys has counter, it is pretty good at fainting another steel rock type. So I go for Psycho Boost to shield bait the Bastiodon, but she comes in with her Hitmonchan right at the Psycho Boost, and yeah, I switch into my Golbat to be able to feint this Hitmonchan without any high usage on shields. So now I go for my Poison Fang to feint this Hitmonchan down now, which feints now, and yeah, I don't know, I tapped on the Poison Fang but it wouldn't let me. But anyways, since she still had one shield left and I had my both shields, I shield now to preserve my Deoxys and just counter the Bastiodon down. Since I probably wouldn't have gotten to 2 Psycho Boosts anyways, so yeah, why bother doing another charge move? So yeah, for my fourth opponent we start off with Tropius against Linoon. So this really favors my Tropius, and to preserve my Tropius I expected him to Thunder me here, so that's why I shielded, and because of that it will not be able to Thunder me a second time. So I already knew that this would be a Grass Knot, so that's why I did not shield that. Didn't hurt at all. That's like 10 to 15% HP. So now another Tropius comes in. I go for my Air Slash, my Area Ace, but should have gone for a Leaf Blade there probably. Now I noticed that this is the Air Slash one, so that's why I switched. So I'm now switch into my Golbat and switch lock against the Swampert. But this favors Golbat since it's so bulky and is able to hurt this Swampert with the Shadow Ball like we saw right now. So yeah, I shield the Hydrocan to preserve the HP on my Golbat, since the only Pokemon left is the Tropius and my Golbat alone should be able to feint the Tropius now. So we go for Poison Fang, which got shielded, and now it's just the race to our charge moves. He has to keep aerial acing me and I do my Poison Fangs. So yeah, Poison Fang, and I switch into my Steelix to maybe soak an aerial ace, but ended up just Leaf Blading me. Probably thought that the Leaf Blade might have been enough to feint my Golbat, so yeah, I now eat another Leaf Blade, but this shouldn't be able to KO me and I should be able to crunch her down now. Yeah, so that's game 1. Yeah, that's game 1. So coming in game 2 for my final opponent, I start off with Lapras against a Tropius, his only true counter to my Tropius, since this is a Air Slash variant and mine is a Razor Leaf one. So I just shield the first Leaf Blade and I keep on Ice Sharding her, farming up to my Skull Bash, and I surf this Tropius now to get a shield out of him, which ended up being successful. And now I shield another time to preserve the HP and to make the defense buff even more valuable, since I have still so much HP left. So I immediately go for my Skull Bash, since nothing would like to eat a Skull Bash. And yeah, he ended up shielding, which made everything, I don't know, kinda unnecessary. So yeah, the double surf would have been better there. But you never know. Maybe they don't shield. So I go for my Surf, and he's kind of forced to Hydro Can me again to be able to feint my Lapras, but I didn't want to let him. So I switch into my Tropius, which was a pretty safe lead after the Tropius has fainted. So yeah, that's pretty much GG, since the Hypno will not be able to feint my Tropius down, and the Swampert is just one Razor Leaf away from fainting. So yeah, he ended up getting one Fire Punch off, but that's not enough to feint my Tropius. Maybe a Ice Punch would have been enough. So yeah, unfortunately he does not have the Ice Punch, and I'm able to win this game and round. So I ended up with 3 wins and 1 loss.